Okay.
All right, Sundi, before we start, I really enjoyed our finesse the lamb tip you gave us to be a home cook last week. What do you have for us this week?
It is the mystery meat statue that has come up because apparently liver mush has the consistency that you can mold.
Please pack your knives and go.
So now I'm just out here thinking about how I can make all of my mystery meat into a statue.
Love it. So lots of mystery meat around the house?
Well, not in my house as a grown-up, but in my house as a young child, yes. I grew up on Vienna sausages and saltine crackers.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
My dad, potted meat. Like we're a real processed meat mush family. So this was my challenge. This episode was right up my alley.
What about the
meat family?
Don't worry. This is just you and me here. This is just you and me.
Yeah. Just me, you, and the chickens, for sure.
Well, welcome to But I'll Take a Pinot Grigio, a Top Chef pairing. I am Jeff, the resident culinary hospitality industry expert. I'm here with my friend Sundi. Please tell them about yourself.
I am the pop culture professor, self-proclaimed expert / newbie for Top Chef. And so emphasis on the self-proclaimed, obviously. But I am here to co-pilot as we navigate this very esteemed franchise, 23 seasons. It's a little intimidating to have to just drop in on it, but I think that I'm up to the challenge, I think.
But you're here, and we have some little business to get away with at the first. Yeah.
I mean, speaking of challenge, so we did a thing. Well, you did the thing, and I ate. Oh, that went awry. That is not what I meant. You participated in a food challenge in which we pulled a strip of paper, and you made some fun pairings and stuff. And I wound up eating pork flavored ice cream, which y'all, it was real good. And I had 3 bowls of it. And as I've said in other podcasts, dairy is not usually something that I consume regularly, and I ate 3 bowls of this ice cream. It was really good. And so our whole bit about the how-tos, everything, it's all on social media. Head over to YouTube. There's a full video on YouTube about how we got to it. There's some fun ingredients. Jeff had to do a gelato themed barbecue 2 ways, and he delivered, y'all. It was pretty exciting. And there's a whole series of videos of how we got to the end. So if I had watched some of the making of it all the way through, I may not have enjoyed it as much, but we
have videos of that too. Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah.
You get
after
to see
the fact,
that.
I feel really good. Yeah. Sometimes your senses can cut short circuits. If you see something that doesn't track for what you think, I think one of the contestants had a black pork chop. That can really disrupt your experience with it, how you're going to taste it. I think that's what happened with Carla. She was like, oh, I don't know, pork flavored ice cream. If I had not have told her, she would have enjoyed it. I know she would have, but her senses short circuit.
And we're only highlighting the one person that didn't enjoy it. There were other people who enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah, no, everybody did, which, everybody really had a really good go of it. But I was just saying, I just kind of got tripped up on how some of these folks' dishes later on in the elimination challenge, which obviously we'll get there, how their dishes looked different than what my brain thought. And so I think that has to do, it sort of goes to show you how everything is kind of working together towards a greater end. And if you have to disrupt one, you're having to accommodate another. So. But it was really good, and I enjoyed it. There was a crunch to it from the toppings that was real good.
Yeah, we had a pork rind, corn muffin, a little toasted crumble on top. For those of y'all that didn't get to see the pulled pork ice cream challenge, but it worked out. Pretty happy with it.
It was really good. And I wish you had left some, because I would have gotten Ethan to eat it.
I did take it. Yeah, I did take it.
You did. You did. I noticed. I checked twice. Just maybe I was like, oh, top drawer, bottom drawer. Nope, it's gone. He took it all.
Yeah.
Here we go. And
you ready to dive in?
This one, I am. I have some things to say about a lot of this.
All right. Well, we start with our recap. We had the Reaper Pepper Party. the little progressive meal where we went least to extremely hottest, including the pepper X, whatever nonsense that is.
The
We got
Reaper
the
Pepper
judges
Party.
really sweating it out, sweating it out big time in the first 2 episodes. Then we ended up with Jossie saying goodbye and Rhoda on top, which is right where we start with our 13 remaining chefs.
And Kristen said a little bit later that Rhoda made history being a winner of 2 consecutive immunity challenges in a row. So
yeah,
she's the one to watch.
We get to see the digs, to get to see the people getting up in their apartment, Rhoda doing a little knife work. We have Jen and Justin talking about a little injury she's had, which I think that's 2. Is that the same one she talked about in your interview, or is that a new one?
No, I think it's a new one. This is a more recent one. I think she characterized it as succumbing to the peer pressure of her 11-year-old nephew on a rope swing, which she's younger than I am, but I'm going to tell you right now, you ain't going to see this lady on a rope swing. Okay? I am past my rope swing prime. So I can understand how an injury could happen in that one.
I believe that for you. We do see, like, anytime somebody's calling or remembering something that just happened back home, thinking back like on family and stuff like that, some viewers start getting a little right at the beginning, like, oh, does that mean this person's going home because they're talking about back home? Like, when you see people phoning people, that sometimes is like a tip off. So just a little interesting there to notice like what people are doing at the front of the show. Just kind of, if you've been watching for a few years, some people think that that's like a signal that person's going to go.
Not to be a spoiler, but it did not work out because I was feeling a little worried too. I was like, oh, we're spending a lot of time on this injury and like how she's feeling and how she's like talking about having to push through. And I was a little worried that, oh, she's not going to make it. And so I feel good that she at least made it to the end. Spoiler alert, everybody, to the end of this episode. But
so 2 jump ahead so far.
Yeah. The end of the episode. Thanks for joining us, y'all, everybody. Like,
we're right to the kitchen. We have Kristen Kish with a little racing outfit on, it looks like. I figured you would like a little talk about her outfit.
I did. I wrote a note. I was like, okay, Kristen, not a jumpsuit. That was my notes because she's got like a denim leather situation happening. And, she's just like rocking out. But like, she has to like fit into the schematics or the motif of it. And like it's like so super smoky. And listen, Oscar, I am like such a fan of him. He talks about it being a Snoop Dogg video because like whenever they walk in the kitchen, it's so smoky. I love him so much. I find him to be so endearing, and he is my number one front runner. If this was a horse race, I would put all in on Oscar.
We are a big fan of him so far. We see get a little bit more, right up front. It's the recognition you talked about, going for Rhoda, 2 for 2 so far. And then we bring on the big legend from New Orleans, Emile Lagasse. Everybody knows him.
So he's 122 years old now, just by looking at him.
Oh, gosh. I think you've been in the culinary field this long at that level and you're walking around, you're doing great. I mean, that guy's...
Give me a number. Tell me a number, Emile Lagasse. He has to be 70s?
Yeah, I'd say low 70s is probably right. Yeah.
Because there is a hairless situation that I was not prepared for to see him.
Ma'am, what show do you think this is? This is what are we doing here? We're not talking there.
No.
Fashion
I just
choices
don't check in
of these folks.
I don't check in on Emile Lagasse maybe as often as you do. And so it was shocking because in my brain, he's very like young, robust, like, thick, full of black hair. Like that is the picture that I have left in my head. And then to see like the crypt keeper dressed as Emile Lagasse, it was just shocking to me. I did not realize he had aged so quickly, which I guess time works the same in everybody.
Views expressed on this show of Sunday Rose don't necessarily reflect the views of all hosts of But I'll Take a Pinot Grigio, a Top Chef pairing.
It caught me by surprise that
I don't know where to go.
So yes. Okay, so moving on from that.
Well, moving on, I do want your opinion. Speaking of, how things look, you got it a little bit up front, but introducing our liver mush. That's the big ingredient right now.
I have had liver mush
before,
but the way that it was like a version of it, like we've, processed meat is processed meat, I guess, but you would just like slice it and like you could toast it and put it on a cracker. That's how we would eat it. A little bit of mustard. That was it. We weren't doing anything super fancy with it. It wasn't like the full meal, like a Vienna sausage, like I said. And also, too, my dad had a dog that would only eat he had like 4 things that the dog would eat, and liver mush was one of his, potted meat. Yeah. So me and the dog are just sitting there eating the same thing as a kid. I grew up how I grew up.
I think we have to go a different route with the show now. I think this is catching us.
No,
I'm
There's a
lot to
fine now.
unpack here early on.
I am fine. And look, though, and we'll talk about it in a second, too, because I think it was Anthony, right, that talks about was it Anthony that talked about he had it in his freezer and he called it scrapple, though?
Yes, there's many regional ways that people enjoy this type of processed meat. One of them is like the Pennsylvania Dutch area where Anthony's from, and it's scrapple, like up near northern Kentucky, southern Ohio. They have geta, which is that with oats instead of cornmeal or flour like the other two are. So it's all over the place, like this old, kind of quote unquote peasant food. So it's fun to see them dress them up. This is something, taking something there that we see done fancy. I think it's pretty neat getting to see what everybody else's takes on it on.
I think this week and next week's episodes are just like right in my wheelhouse. I was like reverse snotty about it on that when we first like talked about it, but these 2 episodes, this one and next week, were just like made for me, I think. So I'm really excited to talk about it. I was really surprised too about, well, we'll get into it. Let's talk about the quickfire challenge before I make my own. Let's get into it. The way that Emile talked about it when he says it was, yes, it's pork liver with other meat scraps. Like, he's not really selling it. Speaking of the PR team for liver mush, like, fire Emile Lagasse from the PR team, because he is not selling it.
That's right. We're looking for some PR love on this one as well. We see Jen like really hurting. I mean, this is something that's big. She's got to bow out, like can't control her arm. She's leaving to get an x-ray. I mean, this is a big deal, not something that happens too often. But, it's right back to all the action. I like the breakfast ideas people have going on. Your boy Oscar's talking about it's popular for like late night. You've been out for a little while, come back. It's something to soak up all that stuff. I can see that for sure. We hear a little bit about Deanne's backstory, some of her upbringing. This is what I love. We're starting to pare down. We're getting a lot of time. I think this is where like I'm starting to see the extra extended time that Top Chef has. Like we're getting to spend more time on the preparation of food, and something I think is really cool.
I don't know if we should like really blow by Dwyn's backstory, because she was raised or born in a refugee camp. So I think that was really shaping. That was very surprising to me. I think that was really telling and really informs a lot about the way that she cooks and talking about, I don't know if it was her talking about like cooking with the whole situation, like using everything. I believe wasn't that her? And so that kind of really informs like where she kind of gets that particular incentive. And also we cannot blow by that North Carolina has a law about liver mush that it must be 30% pig liver.
Right. Yeah.
So they are real serious about their liver mush.
Man. Kentucky's got bourbon laws, and this place has got to have laws on their liver mush. That's right.
That's right.
We see your girl Nan struggling again a little bit, messing up her own cream. Some of the same story with her. I see some mushrooms going. I think I would like doing something like that, something like the grain bowl. But we're seeing people try to brighten it up.
Well, when I see them, so number one, I was very put off. I forget who was talking about emulsifying the liver mush. That really put me off. That I don't know. That seemed real hardcore. But like in my mind, if this was in an alternate universe in which I had this particular skill set, it seems like you would have to have some kind of texture, some kind of crunch, like a hard crunch, and then something really like bright and like fresh to kind of offset this real like texture. And I was really surprised how many folks just went pate, because that kind of seemed like, okay, well, duh.
It's
Like,
done.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
yeah. And Nan had a really good idea, but like, listen, speaking of someone who lives with a gaggle of neuroatypical people, I think Nana probably has some executive function stuff. I think a real good dose of Ritalin would take care of a lot of her problems, because she has great ideas, but her execution is just kind of sloppy a little bit.
Yeah, it's come up before. It'll come up again. That's why I even mention it. Like we see her messing up the cream, not going great. Your texture, you keep going back on the liver mush about. I think one of the coolest we see, the brighten it up from Anthony looks cool, but like the arpeggi egg that we have, that's a wild play on senses and textures and all that stuff. Yes.
Sundi has a question.
You have a question.
I wrote this down. I was going to save it for my Sundi has a question segment. What is an arpeggi egg?
It's from a restaurant by the same name, Arpege. It's Alain Passard's restaurant. It's been 3 Michelin stars for like 30 years, like at least 25, 30 years or something like that, like mid-90s. It's very vegetable forward, very forward thinking, very clean stuff, like decadent stuff. This isn't a muse. Like this is a dish that's just on there all the time. It's got a hot yolk. Like you take everything out, put the yolk back into the egg, and like steam that in the shell. So it's just the yolk. And then you make like a foam with the white. So you have like hot and cold and soft and harder at the bottom. So it's just all kinds of other textures and senses play.
What is the texture of the yolk?
Well, that's harder. Gelatinous? Like that's more of cooked, because the foam that you go through is really soft before you get down there. So you have like hot, cold, salty, sweet, creamy, acidic, like all the different stuff is at play. So that's a pretty cool one that Brandon pulled out. Yeah.
Follow-up question.
Yeah.
Do you have to like earn your Michelin star every single year? Like you just don't get you don't get it and keep it?
No, they'll review you every year.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can go down. You can
for 30 years, and then
getting to that status is very hard. Like maintaining it year after year. It's like teams that make the playoffs year after year after year. Not everybody can do it.
That's a really good way to explain it to me. Got it.
Yeah. Oh, I can go to sports and food a lot. Yeah. We definitely see Kristen is wearing chaps, it looks like now. Just going to throw that in for you.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Yeah. We got some heavy regular hitters so far at the top, like Durian, Anthony, Rhoda, like those have been like top players already.
Yeah. Oh. And call this my particular bias, but Dwayne's sandwich, like I saw it and it just was like, this feels like home. Like that felt so natural to put this particular food item in a sandwich. Like didn't like that was just like duh, obviously.
Yeah.
With also like a crusty bread and some pickled carrots.
Oh yeah. The Vietnamese cuisine in New Orleans is huge. I mean, that's a very prevalent culture down there. So like Emerald being from New Orleans saying like, hey, this banh mi is amazing. Like that's actually pretty cool, just because it's not like, it doesn't sound like a New Orleans food, but there is tons of Vietnamese food down there, and that's awesome. I thought you were going to have something on that. Sorry.
No, well, I don't know what a banh mi is, but I can't.
Oh, that's the Vietnamese sandwich. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, because I just can't stop every time I don't know something, so I'm having to like process on the fly here and use context clues.
Anthony wins, who I've been big on. His was really smart, using the crunchy liver mush as bread in the salad. We got the brighten it up with the tomatoes, like you said. I thought that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like I like to claim that I thought about that before he did it. So
that's right.
I did not after the fact. But it was interesting that he won with a pate. I thought that surely they would have picked something with a little bit, but I guess it was so good that they couldn't deny it. And then a little bit of product placement. I saw the Charlotte sauce with the zoom in.
The Charlotte sauce. What's
Yeah,
that?
so that they had, I don't know, it was whatever product they were like pimping this week because it was like they had like the whole setup and it just like zoomed right in.
That's awesome. Yeah, we get a little North Carolina history at least.
Uh-huh.
If I didn't notice the product, like about their textile boom, and you're kind of wondering, like, I mean, I was wondering, like, what we doing with fabric? I'm trying to put myself in the competitor's mindset. Like, what are they
Mm-hmm.
going with? And so it's all colors. So we have like fruits, charcoal, natural food dyes, all stuff. So it's going to be based on colors here.
Yeah, I was kind of hyped too when I saw it because we also live in a meal town, and I was like, "Where is this
Yeah.
going?" So that was a really interesting connection. But I would like to say, based on a conversation that we had, I think yesterday in the group, I heard somebody say turmeric. Okay, I heard a lot of people say turmeric. I heard a lot of people say like a lot, but I heard someone say turmeric.
Yeah.
And I just need everybody to understand that I'm not the only one in the world that says turmeric. Just say it. I
No, it
heard
just sounds
somebody
like
say
an
it.
order just because it sounds like numeric.
I know, but everybody was janking on me the other day for saying turmeric, and I just want to make a point of it. But yes, so all of the food dye, though, is naturally derived. Yeah, they're not using, like, dye,
Yeah, all natural
right?
dyes. Yeah, we even get like Emerald throws his own lines in there, kick the color up a notch, gives them a bam. We're on our way there.
Yeah,
We
apparently Bright Food is having a moment right now. Did you know
Yeah,
that?
I'd say it has been for a few years. Yeah, I think
Okay.
colors are becoming a big part of how, especially fine dining, like where that's going. And it is fun. I mean, it probably is in huge part to the Instagram of it all also. Like, food
Yeah.
became such a thing people shared, then it's like, what's catching your eye? What's making you stop? When are you not scrolling? How can you participate? Like the color is something you can participate with the food across the country or across the globe without, because you can't taste it. You can't immediately go make it, but it can catch your eye. And so that's a big
Yeah.
thing. And so it's just kind of gotten into the senses of people making food as well.
That's an interesting connection about the Instagram of it all. I didn't know if I thought of it that way, but yeah, that's smart.
I just came up with that. It's super smart. We're going to Supperland, a really cool looking restaurant, like elevated Southern cuisine. It's in a beautiful, like restored church. It's a
Mhm.
super cool restaurant in Charlotte, like elevated Southern food. Get a nice send off from Emerald. He gives everybody a bam. Gotta have it. Kick the color
And
up a notch.
and then too, so this is it unusual for them to get 2 hours to prep tonight and then a whole nother hour the next day plus their cook time? Is that unusual?
That's not unusual, and I like it. I like when they kinda have it split up.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime you're getting more than an hour or 2, great. If I gotta split it up to get 6 hours, then I'm willing to split it up. It gives you a little time to think too, like sit on stuff overnight, I would think.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. It seemed like a gift to them because they were all like, "Oh, hell yeah, hell yeah." That 2 hours the night before seemed like they were giving them this thing because
Yeah.
they were all really excited and they were all trying to, like, plot how to manage their thing, and poor old Nana.
Nan
Even with
had some trouble. 30 minutes in the grocery
even
store
with
is tough, though. 30 minutes in the grocery store? Can you
I
imagine?
know, but I'm gonna tell you right now, Jeff, if I have 30 minutes in a grocery store, I'm not letting go of my cart. I am not letting my cart out of my sight, and she loses track of her buggy in the Whole Foods, and I'm like, "Nan, girl, come on."
Yeah, time management, we can talk. Cart location, we can't. I don't know where to start with you. I'm happy you got here today, as a matter of
I
fact, with
mean,
both your shoes on. That's
please.
wonderful.
Like, and I'm always gonna root for a, nutty professor. I'm always gonna root for it, but, like, she is just working against herself in every way. And the bummer about it is I think that she probably has some things to say on the plate, but, like,
Oh, I
we'll
do.
never
I
fucking know.
definitely do. I'm so pulling for her every second. I am wondering what's going on with Jen. We don't know just yet. Haven't heard Justin's thoughts on it. I think that's funny. What Seeger says here is like the kind of thing that made me want to like be on the show back in the day. Like, just focus on a concept, this color, like do that for a whole menu rather than just like not go in and work your station that day. Like if you just got given a whole kitchen and it was like, just focus on a color concept for the day. Like that's a very cool, like grad school type thinking, way to do things. And I think that's awesome.
And they also feature Oscar talking about how, like, previously he had done a particular challenge or where like people left with their mouths died. And I think that we should put a pin in that here in this conversation because that happened previously. And
he's done it.
Yeah. And so we know that it is possible to do. So we'll revisit that idea.
I thought you would particularly like the line, the judges are going to go from a puckered butt to a tie-dyed mouth right around that time. I thought that would appeal to you. So I'm glad you had the Oscar part picked out.
I do love a dirty innuendo. I love a dirty innuendo.
It's the Lisa Vanderpump in you.
Yeah, it is. Well. Although I will say they're working a little bit harder than Lisa Vanderpump is.
A little bit.
Sometimes hers are just real sloppy, but these are real cute.
We get our update on Jen. She just gets just gets some meds and she'll play catch up. I think I caught Justin calling her Action as her nickname, so I'm guessing that's for Action Jackson.
Action Jackson.
And that is a Detroit movie, and they're from Michigan. So I don't know. I don't know if that's how that played out, or that's just where my mind went. But I like it that way.
I feel like it's a pretty easy leap. Her last name is Jackson, and he's calling her Action. I feel like that's a pretty straight line. It's a safe assumption, I think.
An unsafe assumption is something I see Nan doing. This is a very technical thing she's about to do. And now if someone on the show, this is the chicken Ballantine.
Galantine with a G, right?
Well, she said G. I think it's G or B, but I know it more of the B is Ballantine.
Okay.
You debone, stuff the chicken and put like herbs and force meat in there. Typically, like you have it wrapped like overnight, make sure it's going to pack in. But anyway, usually have it wrapped in and you poach it from my experience, but it's a lot goes into it. So for Nan to start it up, it's just not like I get a little, I don't know.
Well, she says that she picked this technique because she could do most of the prep the night before. And did that seem outrageous to you? Did that seem like she wouldn't be able to meet the mark? Because like her whole thing was, look, I struggle with time management. I'm going to start the night before.
That doesn't seem like the way to go for that.
Okay.
To me.
Okay.
Yeah. And maybe it is because who it is. Like I've seen her do like 5 things now and there's been some management issues. So like there's a lot of technique that goes into that. I'm not saying she can't pull it off. I would love to see it happen, but it would be tough for anyone. Like when people try to do desserts in 15 minutes. That's just hard to do. Like, don't do that if you don't have to.
Well, I thought I was like kind of half-having her. I was like, well, you know what? That is a good way to work towards your strengths and like utilize the weaknesses. I was like, yes, good for you. But now that I know that it was an impossible task, no matter what time Nan started it, I feel like, girl, somebody should have took her by the shoulders and been like, no.
Oh, yeah. I mean, people try to make pasta in several minutes and it doesn't work out. Like it's just, there's things people have done along the way in the history of the show. Like, don't make risotto in a short amount of time. Like, there's just things people like, if you've been watching, you kind of like smash your forehead, like, no, that's going to take too long. I like Justin's very short, like, I went to art school, did lots of drugs. All right, next. And they just kind of went on down the line on that one.
Relatable.
Yeah. We're getting people's starting to look at a lot. See, like Oscar's got the old school mortar and pestle out there, while there's like people that are doing like cutting edge techniques at the same time. That's really cool. Like some old and some new. Tom's back there lamenting not being in the kitchen. If you've picked up on that yet.
Well, I've picked up on his like immediacy to the grouch. Like he is always teetering on the grouch. And like him and Emile visiting the prep kitchen is sort of reminiscent, just to my familiarity, to like whenever the folks come to the Project Runway area or they come, or RuPaul comes to the Drag Race. Except there's a different vibe to this. Like, typically, whenever Tim Gunn would come to the workroom or RuPaul comes to the Drag Race workroom, it's to encourage or to ask questions to lead to a point. That's not the vibe I'm getting from Tom Colicchio.
Yeah.
The vibe I'm getting is, hey, man, you sure? This is what you're doing? This is
deconstructed lasagna? It used to be everywhere. Yeah.
Very intimidating. It feels very intimidating, this whole little critical tour, him and this very famous, very intimidating chef. Here, let me just walk through and pick apart your process. Sure. It felt really, really intimidating.
There is a little of that for sure. Tom has the sweet side also. It's not all grump. He's not like the Simon Cowell of it or anything like that.
Okay.
But
well,
it is
TBD.
More like look down his nose at it a little bit for sure. But that's his role. That's what he's been doing. That's what he's getting paid to do at this point. Like I said, we saw the lasagna. That's a big one they pointed out. And then Lawrence is the last one to worry about. You're he's doing this sandwich dough. It's got to go through these processes. What's going to happen? I was wondering what you think about the colors. Are there any particular colors you go for? Do you like a colorful plate? Does it matter? What's going on?
I was thinking this earlier, and whenever I forget who it was, if it was Sherry maybe, who was using the activated charcoal for her pork chop.
Exactly.
That is confusing to the senses. And because it seems like it's going to taste a different way. And later on, I don't mean to jump ahead, but later on, whenever somebody had that gray scoop of something, that could have been the most delicious thing ever. But when my eyeballs see this gray paste, it's really hard. And so I think the people who did it the most successfully leaned into the whimsy of it and not in the shocking upsetness of it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not trying to trick your brain into something. They leaned into a whimsy, and I'll get to that in whenever we talk about the final presentations. I have some of my favorites, obviously, but I don't know. It was confusing to my eyeball and my taste buds.
Do you usually notice color a lot though? Is that something that really draws you in, or are you just as long as it's good?
Well, yeah. So my mom told me very early on that your plate should have at least 2 brightly colored items on it all the time.
Yeah.
And whatever goes in early goes in really deep. So it's oh, okay. So if we're going to have a green bean, we need to have a squash. Or if we're going to have a tomato, we're going to need to have a eggplant.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? So, yeah. So that feels ingrained to me. But this is going 4 steps beyond that too. So
this is beyond my colorful meat and 3 plate from down the street.
There's an aesthetic choice to this that I don't think I have ever experienced. No matter if I've eaten in the most fanciest of places ever, this aesthetic is something that I've just never experienced for sure.
It's a nice extra thing, and it also looks like this. They went to the extra trouble. It's one more thing that can make you feel real comfortable and just at ease and ready to enjoy something, which is what people try to do for their diners,
Yeah. Well, apparently colorful food is having a moment. So this just in.
We're also breaking news here. All right. So they pack it up for the night. Time to go get in your matching sweatpants and your face mask with your besties.
Yeah. So cliques are forming, obviously.
This is the self-care crew right here.
Yeah. Oscar, Rhoda, Siegler, and Brittany.
Yeah.
And where is everybody else, Jeff? Are they just sitting there with their faces pressed against the glass being we want to be in this self-care crew? Y'all, can we have a matching sweatsuit? It just seems a little exclusionary.
I do wonder how just the 4. I mean, was it...
And did they have to request a producer procure those sweatsuits for them? Did they...
Is that leftover money from Whole Foods? Is that included in their 200?
Yeah, Rhoda packed them in her suitcase because she knew she was going to be in the cool kids. What is that? In my brain, Rhoda is just the leader of this crowd. I don't know why I designated her, but
I bet I'm going to make... Because she's all she does is win. All she does is win.
All she does is win. That's right.
She brought 3. Like, I will deem 3 other people worthy of my green sweatsuit. And you have to be this size. But we're getting to see the colors in the kitchen. Like I said before, I think this is where, like, the blown out, 75-minute version of Top Chef extremely works out for somebody like me. I want to see the food more. I want to see more of these steps because, I'm so used to it blowing by so quick. It's really cool. We're getting to see, like, patterned pasta.
Yeah,
We're doing the galatine thing that's going on. We see people getting helped.
Well, I also get a little package about Brittany's backstory a little bit here, too.
We sure do.
Where,
it's coming up. We kinda, like, it's coming right up there, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. And, like, the way she delivers this story, it's like I almost was like, is she talking about something bad that happened to her? Is she a recovering addict? Because she just delivers it so matter of fact. She's like, yeah, I was doing this, then I was doing that, and then now I'm doing this, and now I'm doing that, and that it is. And I'm like, oh, okay. So she is telling a very tragic, harrowing story. Got it. Okay, got it. Because she just has a very flat
no nonsense. So it's hard. No need to get into details. This is just some stuff that happened, and here's where I'm at. That's
so it's kind of hard to parse out her personality a little bit in that way, and even in the kitchen too, because when she is like, she's never shouting, she's never like getting over emotional, she's never screaming, "Get out of the way! Open door!"
You also maybe in your case, maybe used to a more dramatic Bravo character than these Bravo folks that you're seeing here. Is that a possibility,
sir? No, I'm going to take issue to this. Nan pitched a giant-sized fit. So do not talk to me about how everybody on Top Chef is just so calm, cool, and collected, because Nan is a loose cannon, okay? And by Nan, I mean Nana. I've just decided to call her Nan inexplicably. But, but, like, she's definitely a loose cannon. So, just saying.
Yeah. We get to see Supperland that I've been talking about before. Really cool looking spot.
Yeah. With the pews, that's really cool. The pews,
very
cool.
Stuff,
like, that is really, really cool. And
we got your Gale shot. You've been wanting to discuss.
Yeah, she's wearing her slutty little glasses.
I told you were going to be a fan.
Yeah, she's super cute. I like him.
It looks like Lawrence, we were worried about him last night. We catch up with him crushing the bow. He is recalling his home life, which, again, I'm like struggling with the bread, mentioning back home. We do hear about his mom's Chinese rock band, which sounds awesome.
Which immediately reminded, when we do this week's Rex, like, how you always give a really helpful, like, a cook and food related recommendation, and I always give a completely unserious recommendation. I know exactly what I'm going to recommend this week based on Lawrence's mom. Shout out to the Chinese rock band. Y'all come back to hear our recommendations.
I cannot wait to hear. As a matter of fact, we're going to have to record that immediately. We see Brandon kind of trying to help Nana a little bit, doing a little chanting, get this on the plate. She's not having it. She is all over the place. She screams.
What is her normal life? Is she a chef somewhere? Does she have her own kitchen? Does she have her own restaurant?
She's working on her own thing right now. So she's been doing, I think it was just private chef stuff, but she's working on doing her own thing with
She must stay in the fucking weeds. Like, people are waiting 3 hours for
that's food. The thing. She's not in a active kitchen right now, I don't think.
No, even if she's private chef in there, everybody's like, these rich fucking folks are sitting down and they're like, hey, our food's coming. And she's like, yeah, hold on a minute. And she's running around screaming. Like, she must stay in the weeds.
Yeah, we end up, this is to your earlier question. So she ends up with one thing on the plate. This is all about color. We see like one orange little thing there. And at this point, the only way it's not her going home is if someone, like drops out, which has happened a couple times, or like if Jen, who happened to have the arm thing, like if she's got to go and like can't finish. Other than that, it's like, that's you. If someone else gets one thing on the plate, there's a chance it's up to y'all, but she's been having trouble. So this is a rough spot for her. for sure.
That is literally my question because
Yeah.
I had an A-B question. That was A. And has anybody ever stayed past that particular hurdle? And you answered that. I
Yeah.
also had a question about Whole Foods. I'm sorry to take us back really quickly. Has anybody ever not made it to the checkout in time? And then what happens if they don't make it to checkout in 30 minutes? And what happens when they go so far over their budget that there's just no, pooling their money? Has that ever
You
happened?
can't go over the budget. I mean, people have thrown away stuff. People have gotten very upset about what they can and can't get. And then if they're in
They're having to
teams,
put it back.
and if they're in teams, it really comes into play. Cause someone wanted the extra this and that's bullshit. Cause I did this and it did so well and it would have done better without this, that's when it gets really tough. And you've seen a couple episodes ago, Justin in the back of the line, it's hey, this one went over a little bit. Does that affect you? Then the next one went over. Justin's really almost getting screwed out of his whole money over here. So, yeah, the Whole Foods can be tough. I don't know if someone's never not made it the time frame. And maybe you just have to be up at the line in a half hour because you can't wait on everybody else to be part of your time. But they're pretty hard on that stuff. When they say those challenges, when they say knives down, that's it. They're very serious about their time thing. So they might as well be at Whole Foods.
Yeah. Because a lot of the premises of this show reminds me of Project Runway.
Yeah.
But it happens all the time on Project Runway when folks are so far over their budget. People have to pull from their leftovers or they don't make it in time. And so they're having to the judges are having to decide, really it's Tim Gunn or Christian Siriano. They're having to decide how to handle this person still shopping in the time stomp. So that's why I asked about that, because it does seem like you would have to kind of make some kind of allowances, but you answered that question fully about Nan with her one element on the plate. Wah, wah.
Yeah. On the flip side, Brandon's over there with the deconstructed lasagna in his stained glass pasta window, on a beautiful, playful, tasty dish that he had. It was real cool.
I really don't think the cameras could do it justice either.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Because you saw some very good reactions from it.
Because it looked vibrant to us through the camera, but the way the way they reacted to the pouring of the sauce element kind of indicated to me that we weren't getting the full picture, and that's a bummer. I wish that we could have seen, because they just seemed so delighted by that element, and so I felt like we were kind of cheated from the camera. Yeah,
we see. I mean, for the most part, color is coming out, but this isn't the best reviewed meal that they've served up at all as a whole.
No.
There's some folks that Jen is physically struggling. We saw Nan go, but Jen's struggling with her shoulder. I think struggling on her dish a little bit. Brittany's was underwhelming. I mean, Oscar's had uncooked fish after he had hours to prepare. There was some
and his knife skills were kind of crazy.
Seemed a bit rough. Yeah.
I did pick up on something that you had done the last couple of times. I started noticing when they're asking questions and the tenor of the questions, they are asking these very critical questions when they are not happy with a dish. They're not really digging in and interrogating dishes they love, or if they are, the tone of the questions are a little different. So I am starting to kind of pick up on these cues. I'm like, yikes, they asked this question. Yeah, that's not good, girl. That's not good.
Yeah. And what was your color scheme again here? What were you trying? Yeah. Did you intend for it to be this color? Some of those are. Yeah.
Yeah. And so this is what I was alluding to earlier when Oscar told that story about how he had done a dish like this and it colored their mouth, it dyed their whole mouth. I think this is what the judges were expecting. And Tom even professes, he's like, listen, this is so underwhelming. I'm getting grumpy. They do seem like they just didn't clock in to the challenge. What do you think was happening? And they asked the people this later, but everybody was giving these really weird kind of equivocating answers. What do you think is happening? Why they didn't just go full in?
I think there's a little fatigue. They're 4 or 5 days in right now. They've been going they just got off a plane like 72, 90 hours ago, something like that. So they're probably just like getting used to like a rhythm because that schedule is super hectic.
But
so
all of
I
them?
know we have tons of talent on here. There were the ones that looked really good. So I don't know if
But there were 3.
There were 3 great ones. Yeah.
Yeah, and like they called everybody else into the principal's office.
I like when they do that,
Which
actually. Like, you're all on blast right now.
Yeah, but it just is that not unusual then for them to be like everybody else sucked? Like you guys are the star students and
It's not
everybody else is
typical.
in trouble?
No, that's not typical at all. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was wondering, like, what happened? Did they all just kind of collectively feel tired? I don't know.
Sometimes
It
it
felt
just happens. There's entire dinners that just go sideways sometimes. Like, it's unfortunate. But it's time. And also, it doesn't help when they're doing this and it's not teams. Like, it's this many individual ones. You get 3, 4 bad ones in a row. The rest of the people, they're trying to scale a taller wall than any of those other people were because, like, now the judges are fatigued. They're used to complaining. The guest is over here like, what do I run this cute little cake shop in New York. What am I doing here? Like, am I getting this raw fish and popcorn for no reason? Like, what's going on? Yeah.
I did write down too about Dwayne. I was like, brioche stuff, ... gray lump.
Yep.
Because I was so off put by what, and I forget what it was. Parsnips? I forget what it was. What was the gray lump she put?
It was parsnip, yeah. And because
parsnips brightly colored though?
They're white.
Oh, a parsnip is white. Oh, I didn't understand that. I thought a parsnip was green.
No, parsley's green.
Maybe that's what I'm conflating too. This is why I need you to keep me on track.
But like our favorites, like Durian struggled, Rhoda struggled, Oscar struggled.
Yeah.
Like when you see that going on, you're like, dude, that's just a bad day in the kitchen. And like, if Nana gets something on the plate, she's not more likely to go home than anybody else. They're kind of all, right there together. So luckily for everybody else, that is what happened though.
Tom is hating. He's like, this is the same group of folks that did that pepper challenge last week. He's like, nope. Like he was just a big thumbs down.
Yeah, we said we had the few that were the favorites. Lawrence wins out over Anthony and Brandon. All seemed strong.
Yeah.
And all 3 of those, they seem to work the hardest. They seem to work the most focused, the kind of cleanest. They even had a minute to like casually talk to other people around them. And they were the most inventive also. That was a big complaint with everybody else. Like, sure, you made it this color, but so what? These people had like, I'm making it a traffic light. I'm doing this thing deconstructed. I've got all these the shocking colors that Anthony had on his, like they're all doing something inventive, tasty. This is like using the ingredient and focusing on it.
The phrase I learned last week, putting a complete thought on the plate. I learned that phrase last week.
Yeah. Well, I learned a new rule from you, and that was finesse the lamb last week. Do you have any new rules this week?
Yeah. So, obviously, we are taking a moldable mush. Like, we need a mystery meat statue. Like I was said earlier, I have eaten this sort of like protein many, many years of my life, but I've never conceived that it's moldable. Somebody said, oh yeah, the texture is moldable. So I'm like, oh, okay. So it's like a mystery meat statue. So now I'm always going to be clocking into how moldable my food is.
Oh, I like this. Yes,
how moldable. Yeah, how moldable is this dish? But like, I think it's the cornmeal's doing a lot of the work there, but it's a moldable situation.
Well,
but also we got a negative version of, I think somebody called, was it the calamari they called flaccid? That was the equivalent of the flabby chicken. Like, ooh, don't call my food flaccid. Please don't call my food flaccid.
Yeah. That did not go well. His like poached scallop. No.
Oh. And in theory, that would have been my favorite. Like the scallop with the calamari, like that would have been my particular favorite just by just like the basic of the ingredients. But then once I heard him talk about it, I was like, oh, I can't eat it now.
What did you think about clam and lamb together?
I don't know. And didn't he say that he makes it a lot?
Yeah, it sounds interesting. I would like to try that one for sure.
I don't know, because this is going to sound really gross, because they're both a juicy sort, right? Like if you cook a lamb right, it is very,
yeah,
and then also clams, there's an inherent juice to it. Like I don't know. I don't know.
I'm gonna also put clams are a juicy sort.
So finesse the lamb and clams are a juicy sort. I mean, yeah, no, I don't know. Just the idea of having those two flavor profiles, which I don't know. What do you think? Are you eating clams and lamb?
I'm definitely down. I also think I want to hang out with Justin since you got to hang out with Jennifer and have fun. Now I want to. Now I'm jealous. So I'm just thinking what he's doing is cool. All right. Well, that brings us to our big ranking portion of the show here. So we've got.
Wait, did we say who wins and who loses? Did we already say it?
Oh yeah, we said Lawrence wins. We said Nana went home.
I felt like we've sort of been tiptoeing around it, but like Nana.
No, I said she didn't make it at the. All right, yeah.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay. Yeah, so Nana's out, and I was really worried that she was going to have some kind of episode, but she held it together. I did notice too, though, like how mean.
And remember, she's not out.
That's right, and
she's headed to Last Chance Kitchen. Yeah.
But think about how they're filming this, like the structure of it. Like she had already been eliminated and had to recount this whole episode to the producer with, complete neutrality. So like, that's pretty cool. But so she's there in the Last Chance Kitchen. She's there alone right now. The loser of next week will meet her there and they'll duke it out, or do we have to
unless
wait
there's somebody there already? There might be somebody there already.
Right, but we don't know that. We know for a fact Nan is headed there, right? Like you're
right, but sometimes there is
seeds.
But it's happened before.
Ooh, maybe Day is there. Maybe Chef
or
Day
somebody
is there.
somebody brand new.
So that if there is, those folks are just there, sort of waiting in purgatory, or are they actively doing challenges? Are we going to see that? Like, is that
no? They're just
situation?
Waiting. They're just waiting. Yeah, Last Chance Kitchen will come on Bravo right after Top Chef.
When?
Right after it airs.
Oh, okay. And it's on Bravo, so it's not online. Like we don't have to like go to a second location to watch it.
No.
Okay.
It just comes.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. That's why I'm getting some clarity.
I think
on
so.
All these things.
And this is the first one of the year, so I don't think it's just on Peacock or something like that.
Okay. All right. Well, we need to stay tuned for that. Yeah. Okay. So we're here to
find out.
Oh, but wait though. Next week, this is my time to shine. If there's something that I know about, it is Southern cooking with butter and salt. And we'll get some collards.
This is one of the cooks I told you from previous seasons you would really like. Tristan just won last year. Mm-hmm. He is awesome. He was a joy the entire year. Went through some very serious loss in real life, like in real time on the show, and pushed through. And it was just an amazing, amazing season with him. So I'm excited to see him back. It's one of those like when his season's up, you're like, that guy's in the Top Chef world for now. Like if he wants to be, that guy can be a TV personality and chef forever. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, this is sort of the difference in the tier of Top Chef. Like, yes, Top Chef is technically a reality show, but folks aren't necessarily coming on this show to be on TV, that there is a prestige to appearing at. And so like that is something that I was trying to tell Carla, because I was going to get her to watch yesterday, but y'all's Bloody Mortys got to her and she couldn't she couldn't watch it with me. But I was like, this is something that you could definitely participate with because it is the skill of it. And so I think that is what separates it, because Brooke described it. Brooke was like, no, Carla, it's not a reality show. It's a competition show. And I think that there is a very real distinction in that. Like, we're not talking about Top Chef in the same character and the same category as like Bad Girls Club. Like those aren't the same reality show.
Well, thanks for clarifying.
No, I'm just saying.
No, I agree. Totally.
Probably have some. Yeah. It's a different situation. And it's like you have an appreciation because you get so inundated with like influencers and people who, aren't there, quote, for the right reasons. And like Top Chef doesn't necessarily have that layer of inauthenticity. And so when I hear you talk about last year's winner, it just kind of like rings that bell a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm
well,
trying
that's
to be
something
nice
too at the
about
beginning
Top
of
Chef.
season when you're hearing about like all their accolades and the kitchens they've been in. Like that's why they're saying that. Like we're not here messing around. Like I went to that school in France. I worked at all these restaurants. I'm doing the thing. Here I am. Like no, we're not just to be on TV by any means.
And I was kind of bitchy about it at first, and so now I am walking that back a little bit. No, I did. I know you didn't. You would never. I don't. You just think it silently in your head. But I'm saying I'm just walking it back a little bit because they do, and there is a humanity to it that I didn't necessarily clock into. And I am now. I'm starting to now.
All righty. You clocked in enough to do your leaderboard here?
Yes.
Okay.
So, just to clarify, we don't have to have like the same number in every category because my weeded is a little bit heavier than
my weeded is
defeated.
Heavier also.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So here's my seeded. Right.
Nope. We're going to start lower.
Oh,
we're going to start with the defeated. Yes.
Okay. All right. I really hate to do this to my sister in queerness, but I think Brittany is going to be in the defeated. She is not coming out hot enough. I think that there is a skill level there, but like she's just like maybe playing it safe, but she's just not coming hot enough. She needs to take her flat affect and just like turn it up. So Brittany, Siegler, and Jonathan. I think Jonathan too. I predict he's going to be the first of the twins of the two to go home. I think he'll be the first twin to leave.
My defeated, I also had Brittany. I've also got Jonathan. I was doing it as we were going along, so I had Nana. So she's headed to LCK, so she's off the list anyway.
So you've only got two in the defeated then?
No, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Who's your weeded then?
So moving up, I had Brandon and Justin. I've moved them both up a little bit.
Okay.
Sherry and Seeger stayed the same. They're both in weeded. And I moved Jen and Oscar down from seeded to weeded. Sorry to say on both of them, but
me too.
That's where I am. So yours?
I hated to see that demotion. We're almost in line. I demoted Oscar and Jen as well. I have Sherry. I think I had Sherry and weeded last week as well. Justin stays firmly in the middle. And sadly, I had to put Dwayne in the weeded because she just did not understand the assignment. And that gray lump is going to haunt my dreams tonight.
Yeah, that's stuck in there with you.
It's seared into my mind's eye. It is real tough. That, like, don't waterboard me. Just give me that gray lump.
Oh, heard that. That sounds rough. A gravy board?
Yeah.
No, thank you.
You die immediately from gravy board.
All right. Hit me with your seeded. Who's at the top of the heap here?
Obviously Anthony, because he read my mind through the television and into the past, where you need something crispy, you need something fresh, you need something acidic to offset that liver mush. I'm talking like I know, right?
I think
Brandon, I am not trying to reward bad behavior, but this man, he felt like with that marbled lasagna. Okay. Lawrence with the like flight of bow, like just the cleverly arranged idea. Like we talked about the little animated Pixar short, like cute. We love it. And Rhoda. I am still I still think Rhoda is the one to watch. She had a bad showing. I think this week is not indicative of who she is as a larger artist, but she's still on the top.
Yeah, she's still got an immunity too to pull out at any time. So that's big.
I guess that too.
No, she's the one to beat though. I think for sure that's a strong. Yeah, I've got Anthony, Lawrence, Rhoda, and all the same. And I actually put Diane from weeded to seeded. I moved her up.
Okay. So you're not haunted by the gray lump like I am.
No, the strong bond me stuck with me more this episode, I guess.
I
almost had Brandon, between the both challenges, he did great this week. So that one to watch.
I am taking on board too when you're telling me like how they follow instructions. And I think he has kind of like consistently followed the instructions. Almost one of the best things. Like whether his dish hit the way he wanted it to, he did like check the boxes of the assignment. So I think that's probably going to be his upsell there.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening to But I'll Take a Pinot Grigio, this top chef pairing. Thank you, Sundi, for being with me and talking food reality TV for a change, and tell everybody where they're going to find us.
Go to YouTube at Take a Pinot Pod. We have so much content. You can listen to all of the podcasts. You can watch some of our fun content. TikTok and Instagram, where I am shamelessly mocking everybody except you, Kristen. Love you. And join us there. Subscribe, follow, do whatever, and make sure you rate us on wherever you get your podcast because that helps us get seen. So we'll see you soon.
Bye.